start off by letting you know that you are all magnificent. But you probably know that anyway. You were born with one of the greatest assets that you could ever have in your life, and it came for free. The problem is that most of us don't know how to use this gift. It's your body. And today, I'm going to talk to you on the idea, the concept of presence. So as you've heard, I'm Adrian Kirk. My training consultancy is called More Than Words, and we specialise in this kind of arena. And I'm so glad that I followed you, because all my work is experiential, it's interactive. So I'm going to endeavour to do that with you today as well. Although it is a talk, so you're not all going to be up here, but I would like to have a volunteer, please, to come and stand up here with me. And don't worry, it's only going to be for about 15 seconds. And all you're going to do is stand up here with me. Nothing more. I'd prefer it if the volunteer isn't somebody who's from the training circuit, because you do this day in, day out. Can I have a volunteer just to come and stand up here with me for about 15 seconds, please? Good man. What's your name? Right. I'm very good. So, if you just please face the audience. You've got to face them. Thank you. They don't. They're not giving just yet. This is at the back of the list. Thank you for that. So the question I want to ask you is, does it feel different standing here to sitting down there?
Yes.
Yeah. Why?
You're under everybody's gaze.
Yeah.
It isn't really something.
I know, exactly. That's all I wanted. I told you, 15 seconds of just standing up here. That's all it is. Thank you very much. The thing is that we often sit in the audience and we feel safe, but the moment we come away from the audience, it changes. Would you agree? Yeah?
Yeah.
Last year I was working in Switzerland doing an event pretty much like this, and I was sitting at the side of the stage, not on the wings, out of sight, but I was seen, and the MD of the business was doing the kick-off. And he then invited me to walk probably from that curtain to here. Took maybe 2 seconds, and in that 2 seconds I changed. And as I turned to face the audience, I thought, you know what, given that I'm here to work with you on the idea of presence and overcoming this, I'm going to be honest with you. And I said, do you know what, in the 2 seconds from standing there, sitting there and standing here, I've changed. I've become nervous. Do you ever get that? And everybody went, yes. It's a normal thing. It's actually something which is built into you. I think the concept is that you've moved away from the safety of the gang, the tribe, where everything's safe, and you've become isolated, because the difference is that when you're in the safety of the tribe or the gang, no one's looking at you really, but as soon as you have to come and stand out in front of other people, you're isolated, you're vulnerable, you're exposed. People are expecting things of you, or it may well be that actually you've done something wrong. You've been asked to come and stand in front of everybody because you've done something wrong. Whichever way, we go into something which is instinctive as a reaction. Do you know what it is? In fact, most of you should know what it is. What is the gut reaction we go to when we feel like we're exposed?
Fight, flight.
That's the one. Fight or flight. In fact, I've heard recently that it's no longer fight or flight. Have you heard about the evolution of fight or flight? No one?
Freeze.
Yes. Fight, flight, flock, freeze. So if you look at animals in the wild, and we watch these television programs, and for safety, what do animals do? They flock together for protection. And the other one is about freezing. And it's a lovely phrase. It's a bit like being a rabbit in the headlights. You just freeze. And we freeze because if we don't move, we're no longer a target. And actually what also happens is that we don't move, but we quite often just go a little bit smaller as well, because I'm not going to be a threat either. But I'm going to turn that sentence around, being like a rabbit in the headlights, because this is talking about presence to get the connection. Because somebody who comes out from the gang and stands aside and away from the gang doesn't run, doesn't fight, doesn't flock, because that's getting back into the gang again, doesn't freeze, but instead of being the rabbit in the headlights, they turn it around and they become the person in the driving seat. Instead of everybody looking at them, what happens is they turn it around and they say, guess what? I know you're looking at me, but I'm looking at you. And that's somebody who has presence. In that moment, they're no longer on the back foot or afraid of the situation. They are saying, yes, I know that this is what's happening. I know you're looking at me, and I'm looking at you. And this is somebody who has presence. This is somebody who becomes a leader in that moment. So the question, therefore, is now, what is presence? I mean, I'm here to talk to you about it, but what is presence? Somebody who stands in front of everybody else and says, I know you're looking at me, but I'm looking at you. I'm not going to run away. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to join the gang because I'm standing out and leading. I've got presence. The word itself helps you. Presence is about being present. It's about being in the moment. That's somebody who's got presence. There's a lot these days about the idea of mindfulness. In fact, this weekend I'm doing a mindfulness retreat to refresh myself, because I used to do meditation at a Buddhist center, but it's been a long time. But about being in the moment. That's what presence is. And I'll take it further. It's about being in the moment. It's about accepting what comes and choosing the response, rather than going into that kind of reaction state. Choosing the response. Now, most of us act out of reacting, because that's what the instinct tells us to do. But not somebody who's got presence. They're more comfortable in their space. And that's what we wanted to explore, is the essence of you being comfortable in your space. Because we have been on this planet for a very long time. Your body has learned instinctively to do things. To react, to save you, to run away. And the thing is that we've been on this planet a very long time with the body. You were just born into the human race. And that's built into you. Those things are built into you like they're built into me. But throughout your life, you've also learned techniques for you to be you. And people like us who work in the area of training are constantly looking at ways for you to become aware of what you do with your body, because that's what we're perceiving. You know as well as I do that that physical representation is very powerful in how we are perceived by others. So the work is about getting you to become more aware of your physicality. Becoming more aware of your body and how you respond in that moment. Now, I've only got 20 minutes, so I need to get on a minute. I'm going to do you a drawing. I'm not the greatest, by the way, but I'm going to do a drawing. And you'll be pleased to know this is a really straightforward one. But it is, in the vein of being interactive, going to involve you as well. I tell you, we're going to start off with this colour, because I want to check out if you can see at the back. I, for some reason, like using green. Can you see at the back that line? Yes?
Yes.
Good. That line is your spine. Now, I know it's not straight like that. It's got a lovely curvature to it. We all know that. But which of your major bones are connected to your spine? And if you want, you can do the song. Which major bones are connected to your spine? Skull. Yeah, that actually goes a bit higher.
Ribs.
Ribs. Pelvis. By the way, I'm not great. But I think it's easier to draw than try and do this by building on a PowerPoint. What else is missing? The major bones. What was that?
Shoulders.
Shoulders, yes. And I'm really pleased because none of you have endeavoured to use the correct names. You've just used the basic terminology, which is where I come from. Now there's the direct stuff. Indirectly, of course, we have legs and feet. And indirectly... What's wrong? Oh, it's a bit lopsided today. Well, that's the beauty about doing this. You never know quite what it's going to look like. But I'm afraid to say, ladies and gentlemen, as much as that's a bit lopsided and it's only, what, 1.5 feet high, that's you. That is you. Because take away your gender, take away your skin tone, take away your faith, take away your body mass, your height, That is you. And I know that's not a great drawing I've done, but that is you. Would you agree? Yes, it is. And the idea of somebody who's got presence, because you notice somebody with presence before they even speak, it's what they do with their body. So I'm going to take you through this. Have any of you come across the Alexander technique? Yeah? One person, two people, three people. Anyone do it? No? But you know what? You know of it? Yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line to divide the lower half from the upper half. There you go. It's like a belt sitting on you. Somebody who's got presence understands this and they use it. What you do is you imagine that from this belt there is energy that puts you on the earth. You'll have to excuse this because apparently it looks a bit rude. A bit unfeasible as well, actually. So wherever you touch the earth is where this energy puts you onto the earth. Wherever you sit, the energy puts you onto the earth. And when I say earth, it doesn't matter where we are, because right now we're on what? First floor, I'd say? But this is where I'm touching the earth. I could be on the 60th floor. I could be at 30,000 feet in a plane. Wherever my feet touch, because if I resist, glad that sprang. I get put down on the... What is it that puts me on the earth? Gravity. Yes. Gravity. Gravity. I've stopped there for a reason. Because you've got it. Those people who know about taking their space and giving themselves the right to be in that space in the moment, regardless of how uncomfortable it may make them feel, are the ones who have moved towards the essence of gravitas. I noticed some of you are interested in discussing that. You know what? It is about becoming more aware of what you've got with your body and how to use it more effectively. With that in mind, I'd like you to all stand, please. Would you stand with your feet just hip width apart, please? Only hip width. It's surprising how many people have got different size hips. Right, that's your body's design. You are designed to be hip width apart. If you saw a skeleton standing in a doctor's... You know the old black and white films? Doctor's surgery, there was always a skeleton. Right, the feet just dangle down. You are hip width apart. That's your design. Now, what I'd like you to do is to put your feet together so your toes and your heels are touching. Put your arms down by your side and just stand there. Can any of you feel the wobble? Yeah? See, it's not your design. You're not designed to be narrow, and yet some of you will retreat into that when you feel exposed. That's not presence, that's not leadership. Now trust me with this, and if you don't trust me, it's completely okay. But what I'd like you to do is to close your eyes. With your eyes closed, notice how you started to wobble even more. And with your eyes closed still, open your feet to a comfortable, supported position. Now open your eyes and have a look at where you put your feet. You're about hip width apart, aren't you? Take a seat. Now, the thing is, as much as you have built into you, through years of our time on this planet, ways to survive, you also have learned throughout your lifetime to do things differently. Some of you will have learned, I'll stand up here just for the sake of it, some of you will have learned to go into that. Some of you will have learned to go into that. Some of you might have learned, I don't know if you can all see this one. Yeah. And that's fine, you've learned these things, but actually the thing about somebody with presence is you know that you do it, you change it when you need to change it. Got the idea? Because this is about owning your space. Giving yourself the right to be in your body, in this space, in this moment, saying what you need to say. That's just the beginning of it. The next part is to do with this. It's the upward energy. We resist the gravity. I want you to imagine that there's a thread that goes through every vertebrae and then out through the top of your head. This is where the Alexander technique really kicks in. That part of your spine is below the belt, therefore the energy goes down. So if you have energy going down, if you have energy going up, what would happen to a thread? Stretch. I'm glad you said stretch, because some people say it would go tight. Some people even say it would snap. No. You need to imagine that there is your spine. I'm pulling it down and I'm pulling it up. It's not gone tight. Can I borrow you, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Just to push the beads. Can you see? The spine does not, thank you. The spine does not become tight. You still need to be relaxed with it. Let me show you. If I stand with my feet hip width apart, but I collapse my spine, how would you describe this kind of person? Sad? Chuck out anything you like. Pathetic. Talk later. Lacking confidence. Now if I just, because all I'm going to do is align my spine, doing nothing more than aligning my spine. What would you describe this person as? Confident. Isn't that interesting? Therefore, I'm moving into that essence of presence. I take my body that is beneath me, I take my body that is up here. So would you all please stand? Up and down like yo-yos, like that. Hip width apart, please. And what I'd like you to do is just to collapse your spine. Now stay with it for just a moment. And tell me, in that state, what is your mood? How do you feel? Apart from being a bit stupid, a bit irritating maybe. What's your mood in that state? You've got to keep a collapsed spine. How does it feel? It hurts. Any other ones?
I have the whole world on my shoulders.
Lovely. Got the whole world on your shoulders. Has anyone noticed that you start to feel a little bit low, a bit depressed?
Yeah.
Not powerful? All right. Now, engage your spine. Bring yourself up. Be careful not to become too extended, because you will. If you overextend, you end up being this one. Which looks a bit stupid, doesn't it? Don't push your chin out, but just bring your spine up. And don't make it become rigid, because the spine's still flexible. Can you notice how you start to feel a bit more assertive, a little bit more powerful, a little bit more confident? A little bit. Did you get it? Great, take a seat. Have any of you heard of Amy Cuddy?
Yes.
Good. Those of you who haven't, very quickly. She's established that if you collapse your spine, what happens is the hormones change. You become more stressed. If you bring your body up into alignment, into its actual shape, then what happens is the hormones start to change. You become more assertive, you become more confident, you become more powerful. The benefit is that you look more powerful, you look more confident, you look more assertive. Let me show you something. I will do it from standing up here. So if I own my space here, but I collapse my spine, I'm going to put my hands in front here like so. And all I'm going to do is elongate my spine. Nothing more. Watch my hands. You see the difference? You see it's gone from this position to there. This whole area here has become open. What might be the benefit of this area here being open? More air. Yes, because inside here, inside by the way, you have lungs. So you then enable the system to work more effectively. You open yourself up. The other benefit is that in opening that area, what do you free up there? Voice, yes. So you feel more confident because the hormones are changing, and some of you did notice this actual change that took place inside you. You look more confident, you can breathe more effectively, you start to develop a voice which has real authority and presence. This is actually what presence is, this essence of presence. It's not just about being in the moment, it's about being your body in the moment, knowing how to use yourself more effectively in that moment. It doesn't have to be complicated, but actually I do this one day in, day out, because most people need to learn how to do this, because most of us are unconscious. The one who's got presence has become conscious. I'm coming to the end now, because that's time. I'm going to